Have you ever wondered how poisons actually work in mystery stories? In fiction, poisons are often fascinating tools for creating tension. And today, we're going to look at how Agatha Christie used one particular poison, strophanthin, also known as arrow poison. Strophanthin was traditionally used by certain African tribes as potent arrow poison for hunting and warfare, but Christie, drawing on her medical knowledge, used it very differently. In her novels, it appears in drinks, injections, and even medicine, but not on arrows, making it a subtle and clever weapon in her plots. Agatha Christie is famous for writing more than 60 detective novels, but what many people don't realize is that before she became an author, she worked as a nurse and later as a pharmacy assistant. This background meant she understood drugs, chemistry, and medical procedures extremely well, allowing her to create murder methods that were both scientifically believable and medically accurate.
The history of strophanthin, which the deadly poison that Agatha Christie used. Strophanthin originally came from the seeds of strophanthine plants in Africa. Hunters crushed the seeds, mixed them with plant sap, and used the mixture as an arrow poison. In the 1800s, European explorers like David Livingstone and John Kirk brought the seeds to Europe for scientific study. In 1870, Thomas Fraser purified the active chemical and named it strophanthin. Now we know where the name came from. Scientists later discovered that many African arrow poisons contain similar heart-affecting chemical called cardiac glycosides. By the late of 1800s, a medicine called tincture of strophanthus was sold in Europe. Doctors used it for weak pulse and heart problems. Although some people incorrectly tried to use it for illnesses like asthma or typhoid, which was really dangerous. A sweetened syrup version was even made for children to hide its bitter taste. Christie used strophanthin in 3 different murder cases. The very first one was Valentine Santry in Triangle Roads, dies after drinking a pink gin mixed with the poison. The next person was Miss Laxton. In the case of the caretaker, is killed when someone injects her with it. And the last person was Anya Hendrick. And verdict is given an overdose of the heart medicine she normally takes, which was awful.
Now, what is cardiac glycosides? There are actually 200 different types of cardiac glycosides, but only a few can be used in medicine. On the left here, this is sugar. On the right, the more complicated side, this is called the aglycone, which is the part that affects the heart. The sugar part is called glycone, and because it's just sugar, it affects how the medicine can dissolve in water and therefore how easily it can be absorbed by the body. Now the aglycone interacts with sodium-potassium enzymes. These enzymes are responsible for moving sodium and potassium ions in and out of cells. Every cell in our body has these sodium-potassium pumps, which differ depending on where the cell is and what it does. Cardiac glycoside can interact with all of these different sodium-potassium pumps, but as the name suggests, its strongest interaction is within the heart.
To understand why strophanthin is so deadly, we need to take a look at the chemistry of the heart. The heart pumps because its muscle cells contract in a steady rhythm, controlled by electrical signals and the movement of ions such as sodium, potassium, and calcium. A key part of this system is the sodium-potassium pump, which moves sodium out of the cells and potassium into them. This ion exchange indirectly regulates calcium movement, which is what triggers the heart's contraction. More calcium results in stronger heartbeats, while less calcium allows the muscle to relax. Strophanthin blocks this pump. When the pump slows down, sodium builds up inside heart cells. calcium stays in the cells longer, and the heart begins to contract more forcefully and more slowly. Eventually, the muscle locks into a rigid construction that stops blood flow. Christie's injected victim matches this mechanism exactly. Injected strophanthin enters the bloodstream quickly, immediately disturbing the heart's rhythm and causing almost instant death.
Mrs. Bleskadit's death in The Case of the Caretaker is the most realistic of Agatha Christie's 3 strophanthin-related deaths because she is injected with the drug. When strophanthin is injected directly into a vein, it travels very quickly to the heart. In contrast, the other 2 victims in Christie's stories die from swallowing strophanthin. In real life, no deaths have ever been recorded from taking strophanthin by mouth. It can kill when swallowed, but it requires a much larger dose because oral strophanthin is absorbed slowly. It doesn't reach the heart as fast as injection. Tastes extremely bitter. The stomach destroys part of the dose. Another issue is that swallowed strophanthin takes longer to enter the bloodstream and affect the heart. Valentine and Anya, however, die very quickly after swallowing the drug. This is not medically accurate. Normally, oral strophanthin needs more time to act, but the fast death help keep the story dramatic and avoid a slow scene. Our 3 victims, Mrs. Bleskadit, Anya, and Valentine, die before any medical help can arrive. This makes Christie's murder blood cleaner and more effective. If help had arrived quickly, some of the murders might not have worked. In both marine medicine and Christie's time, doctors treat heart poison, keeping the heart beating, stop the poison from spreading. Doctors use activated charcoal to trap poison in the stomach, drugs to control potassium levels, medications such as atropine and lidocaine to stabilize the heartbeat.
Though this is all about poison, there's something important we can learn. With the right knowledge of chemistry, a deadly substance can become a life-saving medicine when used in a correct amount. It is a good reminder that many things in life depend on how we use them.